Talking about an absolutely big-time performance, man. Cade Cunningham goes off at Madison Square Garden yet again, gets the Pistons another win versus the New York Knicks. Stop all that talking. He went crazy. We're going to break it all down today's episode, man. Let's go.
You are Locked On Pistons, your daily Detroit Pistons podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's the deal? Welcome back to another episode of Locked On Pistons podcast. Per usual, I'm your host, Ku Khahil. You can find me over on Twitter at Ku Khahil. I want to thank you guys for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. We're free and available on all your podcast platforms. If you haven't already, head to the YouTube channel at Locked On Pistons. Hit that subscribe button. We're on our way to 10,000 subscribers. It's our goal by the end of this year. Please go over there, hit that subscribe button. I really would appreciate it. You can also leave us a 5-star review, whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. That's another great way to support the podcast. And today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. You guys will hear what we got to get to later on when we get to later on. But we got to get right into this game, man. I wasn't even planning on recording after this game. I got you guys an episode for today. Record during the morning, put that one out. I was going to wait till the following morning to record an episode. But this game got me so hyped. Got me so hyped that it requires me to put out 2 episodes in a day. I have to get an episode out for you guys right here. The Detroit Pistons defeat the New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden, 124-119. The Pistons now move to 21-19. I believe they just took the 6th seed. They are playing good basketball. Cade is playing on another world right now. He is not just going for All-Star. All-Star is beneath him. All-Star is way back there. We ran past that. That pole is way past back there. We got our eyesight on All-NBA right now. Cade is absolutely balling. He is him. He is the franchise dude. And like I said, we're not just worried about All-Star no more. We're looking at All-NBA. We're looking at All-NBA now. This game in the first half, Cade had 4 fouls in the first half of this game. 4 fouls. How many points did he have? 4? Or he had 7 points in the first half. Couldn't get anything going. Was in foul trouble. Was missing some bunnies at the rim. What was off? Was off. The Pistons kept it a close game. It was still a 4-point game. Comes out at halftime and dominates the New York Knicks the entire second half. 29 points in the second half. 18 points in that third quarter. One of the best quarters I've seen him play. Fourth quarter, absolutely took it to the Knicks. I have never seen Cade Cunningham get as mad as he had in this fourth quarter. I can't believe that they didn't tee him up, but rightfully so. Rightfully so for him to get as angry as he did. They were not only were the Knicks flopping all game on the offensive end, and they were giving Brunson any foul he possibly wanted. All he has to do is whip his head back, and he gets a foul call. Nothing has to happen. You could just sneeze if you whip your head back there and give him a foul call. That's what you were dealing with on the end of the floor. But Cade's driving to the basket, getting clothesline, getting 2 forearms to the chest, hand checked all the way up and down the floor. Doesn't matter. Still goes out there and busts their you-know-what. Goes crazy on him. Goes and gets what should have been an and one. Gets up and loses his mind on the refs. Doesn't let it slow him down. He goes out there and he finishes the deal against the New York Knicks. Absolutely finishes the deal. 36 points. 14 of 27 shooting, 4 of 8 from deep, 100% at the free throw line. And like I told you guys last week, or 2 weeks ago, when Jane Ivey went down, they were going to need Cade to be more of a scorer. They were going to need Cade to tap into being a lot more aggressive and be that scorer I think he can be. And he has been everything. He's been exactly what you want from him. And in this game, he only had 4 assists. Now, some of that, as we'll talk about in a minute, he was getting a lot of hockey assists. But a lot of it was due to him knowing the team needs me to go out there and score. I'm going to go out there and destroy these dudes, and there's nothing they can do to stop me. There's nothing they're going to do to stop me. It got so bad. Got so bad for those New York Knicks. By the way, that we're talking so crazy. Jalen Brunson was talking so crazy the entire night. He would not shut up. This dude was flopping more than anyone I've seen in the NBA so far this year play against the Pistons. Went 1 of 7 from the field, minus 12 on the night, the worst on his team, by the way. Talking all that talk for the whole damn night. The Knicks were so scared to let him. Now, mind you, before I tell you this, Jalen Brunson's going at Isaiah Stewart one-on-one on the other end. Can't score on Stu. Stu's letting him know what's up, but Brunson wants to keep talking and then go back on the defensive end and not check Cade. You can't score in the 5-man? You're hunting out mismatches again, the 5-man. You couldn't score and stew, but then you're coming back down and you're hiding. The Pistons are using you as a screener, trying to get you the matchup on Cade, and your team is so afraid, so petrified that you have to try on defense that they're willing to straight up double team Cade the final 2 minutes of the game and give Malik Beasley, one of the best shooters in the entire NBA, wide open corner three on back-to-back possessions. Which, by the way, of course he hit them, and of course he turned around and blew them kisses, and of course he went ahead and did his little shimmy shake. So you remember how the last few years the Pistons had guys blowing kisses at their audience, at their fans, dancing on them, laughing at them? How the turntables have turned, or whatever the hell it is that Michael Scott says in The Office. This game was absolutely fantastic. This was one of the most fun games I've watched from Cade. This is one of the most fun games I've watched as a Pistons, someone who's covered the Pistons over the last few years and going before them, just being a fan. This is one of the most fun games I've been able to cover. Cade went absolutely berserk in that second half, and that right there is a franchise player. That right there is an all-star. That is an all-NBA player. He went out there and he out-dueled Jalen Brunson in that second half and got his team to win. The guy that everyone's going to have as a starter over him. The guy that everyone's going to have as an all-NBA guy over him. He went out there and he outplayed that dude. And that dude was scared to check him. That dude, not only are they going to have him over him, they were scared to check him. Brunson was doing all that talking and was scared to check up. Stop all that talking and check up. Ball up top. You couldn't do anything about it. Stop all that talking. And he shouldn't be voted over Cade either. Can't play defense. Ain't no one trying to watch all that flopping in the All-Star game either. All-Star game gets enough issues. Ain't no one trying to see you whip your head back and forth in an All-Star game. Hell on somewhere. 36 points for Cade. 14 of 27 from the field, man. Absolutely balled out. That is your franchise player, Detroit fans. And enough with the Jared Goff chants. Next time the Pistons play at the Little Caesars Arena, I swear to God, if I don't hear All-Star, if I don't hear MVP, if I don't hear Cunningham, if I don't hear Cade, like if I don't hear something of that, and I hear Jared damn Goff at the Little Caesars Arena, when you have a guy, a franchise player, playing at this type of level, if I swear to God, I will lose my mind. I swear to God, I will lose it if the Pistons at the next LCA game do not chant MVP or All-Star and instead choose to chant Jared Goff. I swear to God, it will have me questioning my allegiance to the Lions if they do something like this. I will lose my damn mind. I'm so turned up right now. And like I mentioned earlier, he had 4 assists, but he had a ton of hockey assists because the Knicks at the end of that fourth quarter just decided we are not letting him beat us. We're just not going to. We're just going to double him every single time. Whether it was THA getting an open shot, whether it was Tobias Harris getting an open shot, whether it was Malik Beasley getting an open shot, whether it was Isaiah Stewart getting a dump off, they were doubling Cade for the final 3.5 minutes of the game and just basically said, we are not allowing this dude to beat us. He can't keep beating us. Nonetheless, he still scored quite a few times on it, but he was able to find the open shooter, and that right there is why Cade is such a special player. He can score with the best of them. He can play make with the best of them. He makes the right read damn near every single time down the floor, by the way. 2 turnovers in the game. Perfect. Amazing. Love it. He makes the almost the right read every single time down the floor. It seems like almost every single time down the floor, he is making the right read. And the read tonight is to tell Jalen Brunson to shut the hell up and go take that ball home and go back. You know how they tell you to take the ball home after you get busted at the park? That's what they did to Jalen Brunson. Go ahead and sign the basketball too for him, Cade. Sign the basketball and send him back home packing. Stop all that talking. Just got outplayed by number 2, Deuce. All NBA him. Ain't All-Star no more. All NBA him. All NBA. The Pistons are 21-19. But we're not going to get into this in today's episode, but by the way, the Pistons have their dude. This dude is rising up. This dude is putting the world on notice, the national media on notice. Go get somebody. I don't care. I've completely converted to that side. No more playing middle. Once you get a guy like that, I've said it for years. Once you get that guy and you have confidence that he is that dude, you go now. All you do is you go out and you try to get the best players around. Go get that dude. Especially because the dudes that are available don't seem to they're going to be expensive at all. Go get somebody to help this team. This team is currently, I believe, in the 6th seed. They can get up higher. They can keep going. They can secure the 6th seed and avoid the play-in altogether with Cade playing like this if you go get somebody else. And you don't have to sacrifice all the future to do it either. Just go get somebody. I am absolutely turned up right now, man. Go Pistons. This was a great Pistons win. Pistons fans, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Madison Square Garden fans, New York Knicks fans, I know you guys love that performance Cade put on for you. How was it? How was it? When we come back, man, I want to shout out some of the other guys that really showed up and showed out in this game for the Detroit Pistons. A fantastic win for your Detroit Pistons. We'll talk about that when we come back. After the holiday hustle, there's nothing like giving your home a little TLC. I always find that decluttering and refreshing my space helps me get back into a routine. Whether you're tidying up, clearing out, or just want to give your space a new look to start the year, Wayfair has everything you need all within your budget. There's something for every style and every home, no matter your space or budget. Wayfair makes it easy to tackle your new year home goals with endless inspiration for every space. What is your decor style? Why did you pick these items? What do you love about them? How did your item look up in your home? What did you use it for? All these things that you can have your answer, all these questions can be answered for you with Wayfair. Give your home the refresh it needs with Wayfair. Head to wayfair.com right now and you can get your decor style set up. You can pick whatever items you like and you can declutter and get your place looking exactly how you want it. Head to wayfair.com right now. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair. Every style, every home. So I want to thank you guys again for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. We are free and available on all your podcast platforms. If you haven't already, head to the YouTube channel at Locked On Pistons. Hit that subscribe button or leave us a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. That's another great way to support the podcast. Look, man, you guys already see how hype I am about how Cade played in this game, but there were some other shining stars in this game. Let's not get confused. Just not getting confused. There were some other guys that really shined in this game. And one guy I want to shout out, most in particular, Isaiah Stewart. Look, man, over the last few years, I have been one of the guys that have really pushed back against the idea that, just having, just, I guess like how do I want to put this? The amount of value people put into just being a tough, scary-looking dude on the court for your team, being that brawler, being that physical guy that will give a flagrant to a guy. I haven't put much stock into that. I've been one of the main guys that's like, you're overvaluing that. But that was absolutely on display in this game, and I don't think I've ever had more fun watching it happen. Isaiah Stewart, by the way, who was a plus 14 in this game, and we're not going to spend time I'm not going to spend any time trying to discredit or criticize any guys, but I have to bring this up just to paint the full picture. Jalen Duren did not have a good game tonight at all. -9 in the game in a 5-point win for the Detroit Pistons. They were going at him. He fouled out of this game. He struggles guarding stretch bigs. We get all of it. So they had to go to Stu. Stu was the better option. They went to Stu. And the Pistons absolutely dominated with him on the floor. In his minutes, they won by 14. And Jalen Brunson got a rude awakening that going at Stu on an ISO, getting that switch at the 5 is not the switch that you want. That is not a mismatch. Stu on a guard, Stu on the perimeter is not a mismatch. But Jalen Brunson was talking, and that was the wrong dude to talk to. Because after that, Stu was letting him know every single time that he went at him and missed, every single time he went at him and got blocked, every single time he went at him and got a terrible shot up or had to pass out of it. After Jalen Brunson started talking, Stu did not show up for the rest of the night, and I would not have either. In fact, I'm surprised that Stu didn't go a step farther because I probably would have went even crazier. I would have been getting out of pocket. I would have said some probably rude things to Jalen Brunson. I would have been getting wild out there on that court because Stu was dominating that matchup. Absolutely dominated that matchup. You don't win this game without Stu and his defensive versatility and his ability to switch out on the perimeter and also to have that type of attitude and dog in him to where those guys are talking at you guys and he's going to respond not only with his performance but respond by talking hella to Jalen Brunson. This was a game. You want to talk about why is Stu valuable? What does he bring to the team? Why is this team so much better with Stu? Go ahead and just play the New York Knicks tape from tonight. Just take that tape, put the film, if any of your family members, any friends ask about it, just say, okay, come sit down right here. Let's go ahead and turn this game on real quick and just watch the New York Knicks game for the whole entire game right there for you. Because that will show you exactly why Isaiah Stewart is so valuable. This was a fantastic game from him, man. And he's gotten so much better as a finisher this year, too. Last year, he was not a good finisher by any means for his position. Not at all. And this year, he has gotten so much better as a finisher at the rim. He's had truly. By the way, on layups at the rim, he's in the 83rd percentile. He's so much better at the rim this year. People don't understand, and maybe I'll take some credit for this, or blame, I should say. I'll take some blame for this, because I haven't talked about Stu enough on the podcast. But Stu truly, I know his numbers aren't eye-popping, but Stu is having the best year of his career right now. If he was starting on a team, if he was starting for the Pistons, his numbers would look way better. If he was playing more minutes, his numbers would look way better. But he is having, by far, the best season of his career. He's putting it all together. I would like to see him shoot a little bit more threes. They spent a long time developing it, and he can do it, so I'd like to see him shoot more threes. But besides that, he's putting it all together as a defender at the rim. He's been incredibly impactful, one of the best rim protectors in the NBA. He's one of the best switch defenders in the entire NBA. He's gotten better as a screener. And most importantly, what stopped him from being a 5 earlier in his career was his inability to finish at the rim. But now, not only is he a defensive impact monster, he also is able to run the pick and roll because he's able to catch the ball. By the way, his hands have gotten a lot better. Rolling to the rim, and he's able to finish now. He is incredibly impactful now. This is by far the best year of his career. He's putting it all together. And I'm telling you right now, if he was starting for the Detroit Pistons, if he was the starter, he would be putting up way better minutes, and I would make the argument that they would be an even better team right now. But again, this isn't to shy anybody. I'm not trying to do any of that, but that's just me letting you know how good Stu is right now. Stu has really become that player that Troy Weaver thought he was going to be when he drafted him. Stu is great, man. Stu is great. He's not a superstar. He's not an all-star, and he knows it. He doesn't expect to be an all-star. He doesn't expect to be a high-usage guy. That's not what he is. He is the perfect role guy, though. He is the perfect role guy to have on your team. He plays his role to a T, and he knows what he can bring to the floor, and he's done that absolutely amazingly this year. They don't win this game without Stu, and they don't win a lot of their other games without Stu either. He's been fantastic, man. Other players I want to shout out. Look, man, I know we've talked about him a lot, but we can't stop talking about him. Malik Beasley, I swear to God, he might be the best signing I've ever seen the Pistons make. And now, yes, I'm young. I started watching the Pistons religiously every night, like in 2010. I tried to catch them as much as possible before then, but I was young, school, whatever. I didn't live in Michigan, so whatever. I do remember watching the Eastern Conference Finals where they lost to the Boston Celtics and crying in my room when I was like 11 at that time. But either way, moving past that, since like 2010, it's the best I can remember. So let's go since then. Best signing I've ever seen. They have him on a $6 million contract. $6 million contract. And he has been one of the best shooters in the NBA. And he is, Cade has gotten so much better this year. He's great. And these other guys have gotten better as well. But I'm seriously not sure that it happens without Malik Beasley. Because a lot of Cade's assists are coming from Malik Beasley. A lot of the spacing that's being made for Cade is coming from Malik Beasley. Teams are petrified to leave him open, except if you're the New York Knicks and you're scared to let your all-NBA player check a guy for one possession, damn it. God forbid he has to play defense for once, but, it is what it is. But Malik Beasley has 7 of 13 in this game, 6 of 8 from 3, 2 big-time threes at the end of this game to just ice the game away when, again, the Knicks were just flat-out double-teaming Cade. 3 of 5 in the fourth quarter. 9 points for Malik Beasley. I mean, he's been, I don't know what, even when he struggles and he shoots a game like he shoots 2 of 12, you still don't even criticize him. Because his gravity and his willingness to shoot and have that quick trigger and get that volume of threes up has been, I can't, no number, no statistic, no nothing can weigh and show you how impactful he has been for the Detroit Pistons this year. Truly. He's been great. He's been, I know that Payne Pritchard is probably going to win it and I'm not trying to push back against that at all. Payne Pritchard has been amazing. But Malik Beasley's name should at least be in Sixth Man of the Year conversation. At least in the conversation. I understand he maybe shouldn't win it. I'm not going to come on here and lie and try, be biased or whatever. I get it, okay? But he should be at least one of those guys that when you look at the odds, he should be in the top 5. He should be in the conversation. Because he's been absolutely brilliant for the Detroit Pistons off the bench. He did this. He scored 22 points in 17 minutes in this game. 17 minutes. 22 points. I mean, This might be the best value signing in the entire NBA right now. The entire NBA, best value signing. And it is, I think it's the best signing the Pistons have had in 15 years. This team is fun. This team is fun. Your franchise player is putting the world on notice. You have space. You have the ability to make moves. But even if they don't make moves, I think it would be a mistake. But right now, the team is still super fun despite no moves. No moves, this team is still incredibly fun, and having games like this, and getting games from a Malik Beasley, getting games like this from an Isaiah Stewart. Absolutely fun and fantastic to watch, man. When we come back, though, there's two guys that I think need more minutes and more touches. They need more touches. Holland and Ausar Thompson. I'll tell you why coming up. I love going to live events, whether it's sports, music, theater, or comedy. One of my favorite memories was attending a Pistons game when I was younger. My aunt took me to the game. I'll remember it to this day. I wonder how expensive those tickets were because they didn't have Game Time back then. I'm sure she wasn't getting it as great of a deal as Game Time gives you. The energy and excitement was obviously unforgettable. Now, Game Time has made it even easier to get your tickets for your favorite events with their new feature, Game Time Picks. This feature filters out all the fluffs to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. Then I got to tell you guys about another one of our sponsors, Hungry Root. When it comes to grocery shopping and meal planning, I've had this ongoing problem. I just don't have the time. Between work, life, and trying to eat healthier, I was constantly feeling stressed out. I'd go to the grocery store, buy things I didn't need, and then end up with no time to actually cook. And sticking to my health goals, that was absolutely a struggle too. But everything changed when I discovered Hungry Root. Honestly, it's been a game changer. It's the easiest way to eat healthy without all the stress. With Hungry Root, it's like having a personal shopper and nutritionist all in one. They take care of my grocery shopping, recommending meals and groceries based on my taste and health goals. From anti-inflammatory to high-protein and gluten-free options. And the best part, every meal is ready in 15 minutes or less. I'm talking quick, healthy meals that actually taste great. You're going to love Hungry Root as much as I do. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box and free item in every box for life. Just go to hungryroot.com/LockedOnNBA and use code LockedOnNBA. That's hungryroot.com/LockedOnNBA, code LockedOnNBA to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/LockedOnNBA, code LockedOnNBA. Don't miss out. So I want to thank you guys again for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. We are free and available on all your podcast platforms. If you haven't already, head to the YouTube channel at Locked On Pistons. Hit that subscribe button or leave us a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. That's another great way to support the podcast. All right, so I'm going to make a request here for JB Bickerstaff. I think Ausar Thompson and Holland both need to get more touches and more minutes. And here's why. When Cade Cunningham has left the floor, ever since Jaden Ivey has went out, they have an on-off difference of 34 points. That means the team is 34 points better with Cade on the floor than when he's off the floor. They get destroyed in his minutes. Didn't look good in tonight's game either. Had decent spurts, but not good altogether. Like, when I say decent spurts, Sasser came alive for like a minute and a half in the fourth quarter. Hit some big, timely shots, by the way. They were timely. But overall, it has not been good at all. However, you have two guys that could take up some of the ball handling responsibilities when Cade's off the floor. And that right there is the Pistons' biggest problem right now, is that when Cade goes off the floor, they don't have anybody else that can ball handle and create a shot or at least be a paint touch. If you watch, and I talked about this, I think, 2 episodes ago. When Cade goes off the floor and they try running an offense, all it is a bunch of DHOs that either end up in Simone Fontecchio trying to dribble. He double dribbled tonight. That's all I got to say about that. Or someone else getting a DHO, and they rarely ever are able to penetrate the three-point line. All their offensive possessions, damn near all, are outside the paint. No one touches the paint because no one's able to do it. The guys that they have trying to create offense, the guys they have with the ball in their hands, a Marcus Sasser, a Malik Beasley, a Simone Fontecchio. These guys are not elite paint touchers. They're not even good paint touchers. They're not getting to the paint. They can't create separation. They're not good drivers. And you can't drive the basketball. You can't create advantages. And if you can't create advantages, you can't create ball movement. If you can't create ball movement, you're not going to create good shots. Which is why the Pistons, when Cade's off the floor, it seems like they're running up against the shot clock over and over and over again. Because they can't get the defense into any type of rotation or create any type of advantage. Because no one can force the defense to help or get to the paint. They can't. However, there are two guys that can. Ausar Thompson and Ron Holland. And for some reason, the Pistons keep putting these guys. And look, I love JB. JB's been great this year, okay? I'm not trying to go crazy at him. But you have Ausar Thompson and Ron Holland, who every single time they touch the basketball, they are getting into the paint. If they want to go to the paint, they are getting there. And they are forcing the defense to rotate. More so in Ron's situation, he's getting to the paint, he's scoring or drawing a foul. He had 3 or 4 in this game tonight in just 14 minutes of action, 6 points. The Pistons couldn't get anything going offensively without Cade on the floor, and then they give the ball to Ron, and he just goes to the basket and scores. They couldn't get anything going. They give the ball to Ausar early in transition. He gets to the paint, kicks out, gets an open shot. I don't really get why the Pistons are struggling with this when they have answers right in front of their faces. Now, is it always going to be great? No, because Ron is a great finisher, not a great playmaker, and he's not really looking to pass. So you may have some tough possessions with that. Ausar, his handle has gotten a lot better, but still sometimes it's a little too loose. So you may see a turnover here and there. Or with Ausar, you may not see him be as aggressive as a scorer as you'd like him to be. So you may get some, on-off possessions. You may get some on-off results. But right now, you're just getting off results because the guys with the ball in their hands don't have that ceiling that they do. At least Ausar and Ron, they can get to the paint. Now you're just trusting them to get through the process correctly. At least you're getting the defense to react to them. You have 2 guys on the floor that are capable of making the defense react to them. And when you are not utilizing them and you're kind of relegating them to just an off-ball spacing, catch and shoot role, you're not taking advantage of their athletic gifts and what they're able to do offensively to create motion and rotations within your half-court within your half-court offense for their half-court defense. I don't get why this is, especially when Ivy went down. I fully expected to see Ron and Ausar get a lot more ball handling touches, and they just haven't. They haven't got any pick and roll reps really, not that much. Any half-court primary ball handling reps, none. I don't really get it because Sasser hasn't been good at it. We know Malik's not a point guard. Like, why are you trying to have these other guys play point guard when you have 2 guys who are more capable than them and have athletic gifts that will naturally make them more make them better at running the role that you want them to do, and at least creating, gravity and forcing the defense to crash into the paint. I don't know why. So I'm going to be campaigning for Ron Holland and Ausar Thompson to get a lot more minutes. Ausar had 25. Ron Holland had 15. I'm going to go ahead and say take all of Simone Fontecchio's minutes damn near, give it to Ron Holland and Ausar Thompson. That's where I'm at. They're both better. They've both been better. They've both been more impactful. They do more on the floor. Give most of their minutes to him or to them. So that's where I'm at. But I really like what I see from Ausar, and I really like what I've seen from Ron too. I really like these 2 guys, man, for different reasons. That's the fun thing about it. I like Ron for his finishing ability, his aggressive scoring mindset, and I love Ausar for his high-level processing and his playmaking and his ability to see the game slow down in front of him, make the right reads. Both of them, their athleticism, obviously Ausar is next, an alien, but I really like seeing them both play, and the Pistons are better with them. So let's give them more minutes and see if they can handle some of the ball handling responsibilities when Cade's off the floor. But that's all I've got for you guys today. Hit that subscribe button down below. Leave us a 5-star review, whatever podcast platform you're listening to this on. Thank you guys for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. Free and available on all your podcast platforms. And until next time, I will see you guys later, man. Cade Cunningham, all NBA. We on the way. That's where we going. Until next time, see you guys later. Peace out.